is a public service announcement from the 4K Lowdown. Greetings, collectors. Are you a sci-fi junkie? By answering yes to any of these questions, you could be a sci-fi junkie. Question 1. Have you ever stood in line to get into a sci-fi movie, get an autograph, or buy a collectible? Question 2. Did you ever watch The Lake House, hoping that it was actually a time travel movie? Question 3. Did you ever say to your computer, "Open the pod bay doors, Hal"? Question 4. Did you ever call out the name Asimov during sex?
Asimov.
If you answered yes to one or more of these questions, then you may be a sci-fi junkie. And that's okay. I am too. If anybody thinks that you have a problem, then you have them call 1-800-BITE-ME2. That's 1-800-BITE-ME and the number 2. This has been a public service announcement from the 4K Lowdown. Thank you.
That's great.
There we go. How about that, y'all?
That was awesome.
Gotta give it up. That was really good. Yeah, when he said that, it was so funny because he had all of his sci-fi stuff in the background, but he turned it into a PSA. And I thought, you know what? That'll be the perfect way to actually just start the show.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And he gets 2 thumbs up for that Serenity poster. Freaking
love it. Right?
And the Asimov joke was yeah.
Well, how y'all doing? You in a good sci-fi mood?
Absolutely, man.
All your sci-fi goodies laying around. All right, now look. Just in case you and the audience are not in a sci-fi mood enough, I slapped something together. Yeah, it's just an hour and a half. I didn't have a lot of time, but this is to get you guys pumped and the audience pumped. So here you go. Ready for some sci-fi? Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We interrupt this program to give you a bulletin just received from one of our naval units at sea. A large object traveling at supersonic speed is headed over the North Atlantic toward the east coast of the United States.
You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
You're gonna see some serious shit.
Here they come.
Catch!
Get ready for a surprise!
We bring you this special radio television broadcast in order to give you the very latest information on an amazing phenomenon. The arrival of a spaceship in Washington.
I came here to give you these facts. But if you threaten to extend your violence... this Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
You want to call somebody? E.T. Home phone.
Yes, it came from outer space to fill the world with terror.
Get in, Manny, or you're gonna die.
I loved that. That was great.
No, that felt like an epic movie. I'm like, I want to see more.
There you go. There you go. I just wanted to try to excite you guys. There's only so much I could squeeze in there, but yeah, that was fun. That was fun putting that together.
Good job for having an hour and a half to do it.
Well, I just basically used that one sort of the black and white one as sort of the framework, with that. I'm like, okay, what can I do around all that stuff? So,
nice.
It's good stuff. All right, y'all. Well, let's see who's hanging out. I bet we got a bunch of lovely people in the chats. Let's check it out. Agent James, look at that, coming all the way over here.
GQER.
They're geeky guys, sir. Draculina Horror is here.
Look at these.
Loving that. Tony, So, buddy.
Of course, Tony.
Tiana, Kitten Paws. Well, my wife even made it during her fun time with other people.
How dare she?
Oh, let's see who else we got here. Everybody's just saying, hey, let's see. Tiana says, I love good sci-fi. Well, we need to hear about it, guys, in the chats. What's your favorite sci-fi movie? Do you have a favorite sci-fi character? Let's know those too. Maybe you can play along as we bring up our specific sections. You can weigh in on your favorite stuff that is applicable. Courtney. Hey, Courtney. Let's see. KB is here. Sup, party people and clubbers. That's right.
You sound cooler when he calls clubbers.
I know. We actually sound cool. Hello, Collectors Club, my fellow doctors. Nice. Adam, thanks for being here, man. Cinema Manager, what's up, buddy? Actually, watch Blade Runner 2049 right now. Look at that. Tim's got the shirt and got a notification y'all were streaming. Well, there you go, bud. So pause that movie.
We'll just ruin the whole thing for you. Don't even watch it.
Yeah. We'll try not to spoil nothing. All right. And I love sci-fi. I know you do, sir. So there you go. We have a bunch of sci-fi lovers, y'all. Let's just get to our number one, shall we? First of all, I'd like to pop this bad boy up. Welcome to the Collectors Club, y'all. So good having everybody here. Let's see. Give us a little name configuration. Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me. All right. Let's see. Let's just get to our banners, y'all. First up is some sci-fi collectible. No, actually, it's going to be our favorite sci-fi genre and franchise. the one thing I didn't make a ban of.
Sci-fi genre is definitely sci-fi.
Yeah.
That is right. All right. So, Tim, take it away. So, what the first one is, it is our favorite science fiction franchise that we want to talk about a little bit and shine a little light on. So, go ahead, Tim.
So I'm not exactly shining light on something that we don't already know of. There you
There
go.
it goes. There you go.
Don't worry, I got you. Yeah.
I'm talking Blade Runner. It was hard deciding what stands out the most, but I think this does the most because it sticks with me. I like fun popcorny stuff a lot too. Like Independence Day is one of the best action sci-fi movies out there. But something like this actually has philosophical thinking. It makes you think, what is it to be a human? Are these androids human? Are they not? What makes someone considered a human? There's a lot of thinking involved in these movies, and I freaking love that. So, yes, some people think they're boring. There is a hell of a lot of cuts of this movie to watch, but I love them. I love deep thinking type movies. So, yeah, I love these. I don't know if we'll ever get a third. There's a hell of a gap between these, but right. I think both of these are perfect. I love them both. I am of opinion that I like 2049 actually a little bit more, but I do love both though.
I don't blame you.
Then Tim, what is your reaction with Decker being a Blade Runner, or a replicant or not?
I think he absolutely is, which I'm all good with. I mean, I think it's and I'm all for that. When you take out this one, you just think this one, it's the is he, isn't he? Yeah, he is. I mean, all the little Easter eggs are there. Essentially, he is. It's kind of like with Nolan with the top spinning in Inception. You could think whichever way you want, but yeah, I think he is.
According to Ridley Scott, he is.
Yeah,
I know that was a big Harrison Ford's like, no, he's not. But we've gotten so many different cuts of that. Have you watched all the different cuts of that, or is it just like the director's cut and the theatrical cut?
That's the only ones I've seen. There's five. There's
five. I think,
the work print.
I want to watch her work.
There's five cuts, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
There's 5 cuts. Yeah.
No, I have not seen 5 cuts. No, not doing that.
5 TVs and watch them all at once, just to point out all the differences.
Watch them all at once. You're gonna get 5 TVs, hit play at the same time. Oh, that's funny. Any of you other guys have a preference? Which Blade Runner you like? I'm probably still more partial to the first one. Just good. And that one actually too. Like when I first saw it, I wasn't a fan. Like I don't know when you guys came into it, but it wasn't a big hit. I remember seeing it shortly after Raiders came out. So, Harrison's audience looked at him a different way. And when he came out in this, and it was really, cerebral and a little bit slower paced and all that jazz, like it turned his audience off, and it wasn't a big hit. But
Right.
you know, as a sci-fi nut, I still stuck with it because there were things about it I still liked, even though I wasn't like a super fan. But I'm like, but there was something about it that was really cool. So I've just kind of kept digging into it. I got the VHS and then the DVD. You know what I mean? So I just ended up becoming a huge fan. And Roy Batty, like Rutger Hauer, is so
he's fantastic.
good in that role.
The one downfall to this franchise for me is the fact that I don't get to watch it as much as I want because my wife hates them. Hates them. So I don't get to put them on as much as I want because, I mean, it's what are we talking, like 5.5, 6 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Well, 5 hours, yeah. The first one's not too long. It's like 2 hours. The second one's the long one.
Yeah.
2 hours.
This is why I haven't seen it since the theater.
Yeah, like 3 hours. Yeah, so
yeah,
5 hours of boredom for her.
Yeah,
it was really pretty boredom
for her. Oh my god, she hated it.
Really?
So pretty.
All right, well, let's get to it. Let's see. Mike, we're gonna go with you next. There you go, sir. Let's see. What
sounds
franchise
good?
You want to chat about?
Oh yeah, of course, everybody's favorite here. Back to the Future. You gotta love all of these movies. Perfect trilogy, right? They're all great. I mean, they go to so many different time periods. You get the 50s, you get the future, you get the Old West. I mean, what is there to complain about? But the characters are great. It's a funny movie. Great sci-fi elements. It's tough to pick a favorite, though. You guys are going to have to let me know your favorite. I'm always back and forth between the first and the second one. I just like the second one when I grew up, just seeing all the cool future stuff, like the pizza hydrating and expanding in the microwave. That was the coolest part. So, well, it was like Jaws 1300 playing or whatever. Hoverboards, I mean, it was all great, right? So, but I don't know, I'm back and forth between the first and second. But yeah, what else is there to say? Back to the Future is amazing. Everybody loves these, right? Probably going to end up being on number one for the top 80s list. Tim, what do you think?
I'm not going to give anything away. I didn't even do calculations yet, actually, but it's going to be high.
Yeah, right. It'll be damn close if it's not.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great franchise. That's such a good pick. I mean, Michael J. Fox, he adds such fantastic energy to that. You know, just even prepping for this, I keep watching the scene where he's like, "Are you telling me you built a time machine?" Long pause. Out of a DeLorean? Like, is that's the pause? Like, he's just pondering it, and I'm like, that's why they picked him. That's why he needed to be in it. Is that scene was it?
That is the first scene filmed too.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, really? Wow, that's crazy.
With him, yeah.
yeah, those are one of my all-time favorite movies. It's the last great trilogy, in my opinion, because most of them have been ruined by now. Like there's like that and like the Godfather movies, but even those have to get fixed.
Actually, I think Lord of the Rings is a great trilogy, and Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
but you have the Hobbit movies that ruined it. That's the problem.
Yeah, but that's not that's their own trilogy.
It's the same franchise. Same franchise. Like the Star Wars trilogy. You can't call it that anymore. They ruined it.
I guess. Well, I mean, you can, but you know.
In our hearts we do. But yeah, Back to the Future is perfect.
All right. Well, Derek, then tell us what yours is.
Well, it's similar to Tim's. I didn't pick a franchise because I figured Star Wars is too lazy, and I knew what everyone else was already doing. So I went with films based on Philip K. Dick stories, including the completely not boring at all Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
It's not boring to me. Go tell my wife.
At least we have different copies to show, so that's kind of cool.
Look at all these comments.
The 5-disc DVD or Blu-ray or what have you. But yeah, this story was based on movie was based on the story Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Good one. And then you have one of my favorite movies since I was 5.
Yes.
Total Recall, based on We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. I would have grabbed the remake off my shelf, but I didn't want to waste the calories. And another one of my all-time favorite movies, it was legitimately, I talked about this like 3 days ago on Mike's Tom Cruise stream. Minority Report is one of my all-time favorite movies, also based on a Philip K. Dick story. And then you have his lesser fare that I don't own, sadly, like A Scanner Darkly, which is pretty good, but I'm not a huge fan of. But it's a very interesting story, and the animated style was cool. And then you have Paycheck, starring Ben Affleck, which isn't terrible, but it's a really cool concept. Like I always say, it would have made a great video game more so than a movie, where you just wake up in a room and you don't know what's going on, and you have to find these clues to solve a mystery. It would be a fun video game. Didn't really work as a movie, at least with John Woo making it apparently. And then,
but
definitely least, Imposter, starring Gary Sinise from 2001, which I saw in theaters, and it's a movie about cloning. And guess what the ending is? It's a movie about cloning. But those are the great and not so great movies based on all great stories from the brilliant Philip K. Dick. So I just wanted to honor him, because growing up, I'm like, these are all really cool movies. And I'm like, oh, the same guy wrote all these. That's interesting. So that's kind of what made me want to dive into him slightly more so than just a franchise.
So it's funny. Philip K. Dick is super influential to sci-fi in general. Yes. And that makes me think of Sid Mead is also super influential to sci-fi. I mean, like, his drawings basically inspire like a good chunk of what science fiction is today.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, all the work he did on Blade Runner was just so good.
Yeah, I had ordered this really cool prop it was a blaster that was meant to be in Blade Runner, but it didn't quite make the cut. But it was still Sid Mead's design. I got screwed over by the company, and it never came, and I got lost $300. But it was really cool.
Dang.
At least it was cool.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, KB is asking you, how would you do on a Voight comp test?
Oh, I'm an android. I'm failing.
Yeah, I'm a cyborg, so I'd be terrible at it.
Mike, how would we do?
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. What is that?
That's what a robot would say.
Yeah. What is that? What is
He's
this?
spoken like a real replicant.
What movie is this?
That's Blade Runner. That's the test they have to take to are they human or are they android?
Okay. Well, I've only seen the Blade Runners very recently, like in the last couple of years. The first one was pretty boring to me, so it wasn't for me. I do prefer the second one. The second one felt a little bit more action-packed and surprises, but yeah. I totally forgot all about the first one. So
I think, speaking of action though, like, I mean, this gained its following over the years. You watch the original trailer though, they totally did try to pass this off as action sci-fi, and it's not.
Yeah.
There's elements, but that's not what this is.
It's kind of hard to sell it as anything else, I would imagine, especially like you were saying with Harrison Ford in the lead role. Like that's all anyone was expecting at the time.
Are you up for 2 hours of deep philosophical thought?
Yeah, and it was so hyped up for me too. Everybody was like, "This is the greatest movie ever." I'm like, "Oh, I'm really excited." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
No, it's
It was different than I expected to the first time I saw it, but yeah, I didn't expect it to be an action movie at least, so that helps.
Well, and the trailer beats it up because the trailer builds to that jump at the end, and the jump feels like a big action thing, and it's like a 2-second moment when he jumps, and then Roy Batty slowly jumps across, pulls him up. You know what I mean? It's like it's not action packed at all.
Yeah, it has its moments, but
yeah, even when they're chasing each other around the top, that's like probably the biggest action in the film.
And I'm not seeing where he's chasing what's her name through like the glass window, and like that scene's really cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. With and it gets tagged with the Harrison Ford voiceover in the theatrical cut. You know,
yeah, I've avoided that cut because I've heard how bad it is. I've only seen the directors in the final cuts, I think.
All right, well, let's see. Let's get me up here. So, Mario. All right, so the franchise I'm going on, obviously, I'm not even pulling it down, just wearing it, just making it easy, and that's franchise, and that's Star Trek. You know, I grew up with this thing, and it is huge. You know, the thing I love about Star Trek is it's mostly about character. I feel like the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars is Star Wars is like a big fun popcorn epic at the movies with a lot of action adventure, which is what JJ tried to turn it into, which is not what it's meant to be turned into. It's meant to be about stories and relationships. And, you know, you get some nice little, you know, holy trinities in there like Kirk, Spock, McCoy. And then you get like, I mean, arguably, what is it in the Next Generation? Like Picard, Riker, and then Data probably, but then Worf sort of makes it a 4-pack, you know, and there's just, they've just gone on to create such great dynamics with really diverse casts. and it's still flourishing today. I mean, we got like at least four new shows, like Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, Prodigy. There's some other ones in the works coming out. And for one, if you guys have not seen it, I'm going to herald a crossover. Everybody loves crossovers, right? A good crossover. And so they have the animated show, which is Lower Decks. And there's two actors, Jack Quaid and Tawny Newson, who do the voices for the characters, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, we know who the actors are. Well, they figured out a way to cross over the two animated characters and have them go through one of those, portals, sort of time, guardian things. And then they land in the real world. And now Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsom are playing their characters from the animated show on Strange New Worlds. Oh, and it was absolutely brilliant. I cannot herald this enough. And it brings like a lot of charm and humor to that episode, as it would, because those characters are hilarious in the cartoon. And it's also a show, a lot of us try to like introduce our kids into things that we like, right? And I wouldn't say I nailed it with Star Trek with my daughter Brooke. The one and done is always like Trouble with Tribbles. It's like, oh, I like that one. I'm like, yeah, but there's more. There's more love than that. And then one night I just had on Lower Decks because it's a cartoon and she's a huge cartoon fan. And she walks in and sees this cartoon and it seems funny. She goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Star Trek cartoon. Want to watch?" She's like, "Yeah." And then and then since then, season 1, she's been my friend and we all watch it as a fam. So, that's what Star Trek is. It's that sort of family bonding, great stories, adventures, all that good stuff. And it's just something I get a kick out of. I love the props. I love the costumes. I'm not a huge cosplayer, but I love the people that get out and cosplay. I'm sure you guys have seen tons of people. Right. Tim, you just went to a bunch of conventions. It doesn't even matter what the convention is, right? You could go to a Star Wars convention and there's going to be Star Trek people there. You can go to a Star Trek convention, there'll be Star Wars people there. Like cosplayers just need an excuse to get out and express. And that's what I love. So it's all that sort of stuff that's around Star Trek that makes me love that franchise.
Nice. You can also see Star Trek cosplayers at Renaissance festivals.
Absolutely. I did. Yeah.
One of my friends does that sometimes. So yeah.
We have somebody who brings a TARDIS. If you guys know Dr.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a TARDIS there. And every time you see the TARDIS, there's always the Star Trek people standing around the TARDIS. Like somehow they use the TARDIS to get there. I even saw a Klingon guy, but also cosplayers are very inventive and original. And so this guy was a Klingon, but his entire costume was leather and browns and tans and all that. And so it looked like a Klingon who lived in the Renaissance time.
Oh, nice.
Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't a modern color, modern anything. Everything about it was, fabricated for Renaissance. Very cool.
That's cool.
That's smart. That's more creative, at least.
All right. Well, let's get back to it. Let's see what we got here. What's up, Vin? Audience is beefing up here. Yes, I love the Alien franchise.
Oh, yeah. Alien's great.
Rewatched Blade Runner 2049 fairly recently and personally enjoy it more than the original. There you go. Most people, I feel like certainly newer people, like newer audiences, like the new one more. Thumbs up on Back to the Future. It's always a go-to, man. Don't forget Captain America. Oh, is a good trilogy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hobbit films didn't ruin Lord of the Rings to me at all. See, listen to that. Ben knows.
Well, it doesn't ruin
them in my head without any pushback. Draculina says my favorite sci-fi movies are The Fly, Serenity, nice. The Thing, and Brain Scan. Good picks. Starship Troopers.
Oh, that's a great one.
Favorite. Oh, it's so funny, Greg. I just ran out of time. Literally, as I was exporting it, I thought, oh, you know what? I need one shot of the guy going, bugs. But I just had no time. Let's see. Huck, hey, masters of all movies, Presswood DVD collector. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Saying hey, guys, to you guys. All right, saying hey. All right, let's put a little pin right here. All right, so let's see. Our next one. Now I can actually potentially use the banners properly this time. Now it is time for the collectibles, which is always a fun part. We all are pulling out our sci-fi collectibles and I'm going to show you what we have now. But before we do it, we still have some collectors out there that want to share with us some stuff that they love. All right, so we're going to introduce our first collector right now.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Chris. I am so honored to be a part of this YouTube Collectors Club series. I am a big fan of Star Trek. I've been watching it since I was little. I think the reason why I love Star Trek so much was because of my dad. My dad collected Star Trek stuff. He was watching the movies, TV shows, and I'm going to show you guys some of my cool Star Trek stuff. This is one of my favorite starships that is from the Star Trek Discovery TV show. I actually recently got this
You got some good ships
in the mail. It's like a brand new ship. My dad has another one like this one, but I wanted to get one for myself, so I got this in the mail. It's a really cool starship. They call it the USS Buran. Now, I love collecting physical media. I actually have a pretty big collection of Blu-rays and 4Ks, but I also have special collectors like DVDs, especially ones like this. I have Star Trek The Motion Picture. This is the Director's Edition. I'm also a big collector on action figures. I've been buying a whole bunch of them on eBay. Some of them were just part of my dad's Star Trek collection.
I used to have all those
that he had in a box.
Had to sell them.
So I've just been kind of, taking care of all the Star Trek stuff for the family, and
those are good.
I'm basically probably gonna have all kinds of Star Trek stuff. My bedroom is full of Star Trek stuff. It's like a complete
It's a
mess
great
right
book,
now.
by the way.
So I've been a real big fan of collecting trading cards, and I recently got into this one card game called Star Trek Customizable Card Game, and they come in these little booster packs, and this one is the Trouble with Tribbles. All right, my awesome YouTube friends, I am so honored to be a part of this YouTube Collector Series. Huck, I want to thank you so much for reaching out and let me share with you my love for Star Trek. I have a YouTube channel called Starships of Greatness. I also have an Instagram called Starships of Greatness. So come by and check it out. And I hope you guys have a great evening. Live long and prosper.
Arm photon torpedoes.
Nice. That's awesome. He's doing trivia, isn't he?
Yeah. It's so funny. We have several of these people. So tonight we had David was at the top. He's also going to be on trivia tomorrow, and he's also going to be on trivia. So yeah, it's so funny. It just worked out that way. As I was trying to line up people for trivia, I was like, hey, I also want to do a video, So and unintentionally there is a lot of Star Trek involved with tonight's stuff. That was not planned. So there you go.
For the ships he had, was it Eagle Moss? Is that the
Eagle Moss
description? Okay, yeah. I always see those pop up, and they do a bunch of other franchises too. What you pay monthly, and they'll send you a new ship each time, right?
Oh yeah. There's a lot, man.
Is it like random, or do you get to pick what franchise you want to get, or?
I mean, I don't know how the thing works, when you get your ships, but there are a lot. I remember going to the last Star Trek convention. They had a booth for Eagle Moss, and they had a cabinet displaying all these ships. I'm like, oh my God, it's too many. And those aren't cheap. Those are really nice looking die-cast things. So, I mean, once you get down that path, boy, ooh.
So I ran across, it might have been Eagle Moss or another company that does the same thing, where it was you end up building like a giant Ecto 1, and they keep every month they send you pieces of it.
Yeah.
You end up building the Ecto 1 over time.
Yeah, and it's big.
Yeah, it's really big. Yeah. I wanted to.
Yeah, my friend Mike, he got the DeLorean. Same thing, piece by piece by piece every month, and it took like 2 years. Because it's that, and it's honking, but man, it's sweet. When it's done, they look fantastic.
until they get you. They got to sell to you piece by piece.
Until they
It's like a
get
build
you.
figure, but you don't get the figure.
Exactly.
Yes, my doors came today.
I know, pretty much, right? All right, let's see what you fellas got. Mike, start with you, bud.
Yeah,
Show us your collectibles.
Yeah, so I'll start with the glassware first. You guys can see this is one I got from the cantina in Disney World.
Oh,
So
nice.
Star Wars Land. They got the little Ewoks on there. So what is that? Indoor, right? I think they're playing it. All right, and then of course more cups from Disney World. Gotta have your little BB droid one. Gotta have your detonators, of course, right?
That's cool.
I saw those when we were on vacation.
Detonators. Yep.
They make good Christmas ornaments too.
Yeah, they do.
And then let's go some pops. We'll start with a couple small pops. Boba Fett. He is my favorite character, so you gotta have him. Yep.
Nice.
Let's
Gold
see.
plated, huh?
What was that?
Gold plated, huh?
Oh yeah, the gold plated one. Oh yeah, and a green plated one. The gold plated one. That's cool. Yeah, that's some galactic exclusive one. Yep.
That's cool.
Let's go.
And then you gotta have the big Boba Fett's. Oh wait, I'm back for the.
Oh man,
there you go.
See,
Gotta have
it's
that
so
one.
big.
Yep, gotta have that one. Then we gotta have, of course, the classic. Yep.
There he is.
There you go. All right, I think that's the Boba Fett stuff, and then you gotta have a giant Ewok. There you go.
I've got that one too.
That's normal size, right?
I know. Nice Ewok. Yeah.
That.
Like that it has his full name too. That's like my favorite thing about it.
Yeah. Has his name in there. Oh, that's awesome. And then I have these little tum-tums of the Star Wars characters. So.
Oh, those are cute. Yeah.
Yeah. Grab all these because I got all of them. Yeah, there we go.
These are cute. You got cute stuff, Mike.
Yep. Look at all these tum-tums. You gotta have Darth Vader. Like that. And if you have the little tum-tum, you gotta have a big tum-tum.
Jeez. Where do you put all this stuff, Mike?
Just around the place, of
He
course.
just makes his bed out of them every night.
That's like
and then you gotta have more. These little guys. All right. I know we have. I think that's most of the stuff. Okay, one more.
Come on.
I know.
More. We want more.
And then I know this is kind of superhero, but it's also a starship from Eternals. So I thought it was sci-fi enough.
It's still sci-fi.
Yeah.
Most superhero stuff.
There you go. I think that was. Did I grab everything? Oh wait, no, I didn't. And the last thing.
Keep them coming.
The droid. My wife made at Disney World.
That's cool.
So there you go. Gets a little backpack to carry around.
That's cool. You can make your own droid there.
That's nice.
Yep. Yep. I think that's everything. So I wanted to do all Star Wars stuff. So there you go.
Well done. Well done.
I like that. Yeah.
Wait for the tum-tums. I haven't seen those in a while.
The tum-tums are awesome.
Yeah, they're cute. Actually,
all right, who wants next? Derek, you want to go next?
Yeah, I got it. Right, I got a little bit of everything. Well, since you like Boba Fett so much, I'll show this first. I got this little Boba Fett print I got at a comic book convention. It's autographed. I have like 4 from the same artist. That is the only sci-fi one though, because Boba Fett is cool. Got a couple of books. The 101 greatest sci-fi movies. It goes from Voyage to the Moon all the way through Bong Joon-ho's Host. So it's a pretty old book, but I have a collection of these books in general. I have this wicked awesome Star Wars pop-up book that, yes, is mine and not my 5-year-old son's, just so you know.
Nice.
It's like the most complex pop-up book you'll ever see in your life.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And it has like these little sub pop-ups in every page.
Oh man.
All that jazz. Yeah, you can look at this thing for like hours on end and keep finding new stuff. I have a theme park souvenir too. I bought this adorable little ET wearing jams at Universal Studios. I got this for my son while my wife was still pregnant with him when I was at Star Wars Celebration / Universal Studios. And then I have the Superior Alien Invasion plush Trumpy from ETV / Pod People from Severin Films. I've got a original Don Post Studios mask from 1977.
Oh yeah.
Tor Johnson.
Nice.
from Plant 9 from outer space. It does not fit me anymore because my head is fat. And then I have Mystery Science Theater things I forgot I had. Last time I was talking about them, I have this blankie. Big throw blanket. Can't really show the whole thing, but hey, there's the guys. You get what it is. And this bottle opener that I also forgot I had until this morning. So Mystery Science Theater bottle opener. And speaking of bottle openers, I got the Han Solo Frozen and Carbonate bottle opener, which sits on my fridge. It's a magnet. Got some They Live stuff. That's a sci-fi movie. Got this little guy from Spirit Halloween last year. This is my newest collectible. I just bought. Haven't even opened it. Toonie Terror's Male Alien.
Nice.
RJ Boutique. So much crap up here. I showed this in a video. I didn't show it during a superhero show. I don't remember it, but I got a composite Superman pop figure from that comic book store in Iowa that I went to. I gotta put that actually where it goes. Another pop figure of this Wampa. A bobbly head. And I got many an action figure. I got this big, like, 15-inch tall Predator, which isn't like super fancy, but this one's actually my kid's. But you know, I buy all this stuff, so it's mine too. And oh yeah, here's my other Blade Runner 2049 Ryan Gosling pop figure. Got that one. Lots of Maniac figures. That's what's next. I got the Thing to match my shirt, and my glass that I'm drinking out of is a Thing glass. A Predator 2 figure. Right there. An Alien 3 figure, the dog alien. There.
Nice.
I used to have more, but I sold a few. I think this is from Alien Resurrection, if I remember correctly.
Are these McFarlane toys?
These are all the movie maniacs, yep. T2 figure. I couldn't find my endoskeleton or my other Arnold Schwarzenegger figure or my variant Linda Hamilton figure to save my life today. But I have those two somewhere. And this one's cool because you can snap them in half and hopefully not break it. There we go. And you can add his altered body where he gets all blown apart like that.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then here's one of my Linda Hamiltons. The other one is, she doesn't have the hat on. It's just like her hair down. I can't remember this guy's name in the movie to save my life, but it is Michael Biehn from Aliens. Someone out there help me. Another Predator 2 figure, two different kinds of Predators. One's a warrior Predator and one's something else. And I have Snake Plissken with a partially broken arm. Wow. But yeah, that's what happens when you have a 5-year-old and he likes scary things. Predator mask as well.
Wow.
You came to play.
I don't
have much. I have They Live glasses. They're my official They Live glasses. I got when I saw a midnight screening of They Live. More pop figures that are behind my computer. I forgot where they're. Got a little baby Groot. That's Sci-Fi, right?
Yeah.
What's that? I'll do this. My E.T. Pizza Hut glass. Oh yeah. Remember when they did stuff at fast food restaurants? That was cool. And like that, this one, I think all the rest, yep. I had a dog named Wicked, who is no longer with us. But we have a little Wicked shelf on the top up there. And I have a Return of the Jedi Burger King Ewok glass. I have a tiki mug of Wicked. I have...
Damn.
Little baby Ewok. Look at
when I said grab a few props, little did we know.
Fuzzy.
How
and
you
I
feeling,
got
Tim?
the other standard Wicked bobblehead pop figure. And like everyone else in the chat, I have the ginormous Wicked that Mike showed in the box there. Don't worry, there's two more things. It's getting smaller and smaller as I go.
Good thing we have a limit at 50.
Yeah, right. Has the Spencer, Lego Wicked, and last but not least, I think, yeah, I'll stop either way if I find something else on the floor. The Return of the Jedi Bank from 1983. So this is like an actual Wicked bank from when the original movie came out. So yeah, found that at a thrift store.
Wow.
And that's all I could find. I couldn't find the other stuff.
I mean,
I
also have a Wicked somewhere that I forgot about until you mentioned those.
I know you're good.
Although
Maybe
how about what you pulled though? It's cool.
I know. You put my Star Wars stuff to shame. I should have picked another franchise.
I feel like I was being
Yeah, thanks for
generous.
giving me the heads up there.
like Tim, I was feeling generous when I pulled. What about you? I'm so behind.
I was like, I don't have much sci-fi. I also have 2 Yoda things. I didn't grab that are right there.
What's funny is I thought I grabbed too much, but I feel okay right now.
Yeah,
but I did. So you're good.
You're on.
I guess I'll start with I enjoy the collectible lunch boxes quite a bit. So Battlestar Galactica, and sticking with Battlestar Galactica, I've got some qubits.
Oh, that's cool. I like
Yeah.
props like that. Nice.
Yeah,
Qubits
they're solid too. Another lunchbox. It's a Shatner one because we've got Star Trek and we've got Twilight Zone. And inside, I took out the Twilight Zone one because I had it on display, but it had a Twilight Zone and a Star Trek inside. So
where's your lunch go?
I have a lot of these lunch boxes around too. Blade Runner, I literally bought everything you can buy for Blade Runner 2049, including the Johnny Walker, which sold out pretty quick.
That's cool.
This, no joke, empty on eBay sells like $275. Mine's still sealed.
Really?
It's not getting opened. I could get Johnny Walker at any time. I can't get a Blade Runner 2049 version.
Right. Especially if it's normal.
Yeah.
So do you just buy the liquor and fill it back up if you drink it?
Yeah, you could do that.
Right.
Get a funnel.
That's staying sealed. I've got this War of the
sweet.
Worlds.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Who put that out, Tim?
A company called Pegasus Hobbies. This is old. This is an old collectible.
That's cool.
We of course have to have Robbie.
Oh yeah, nice.
Let's see what else we have. It's already in the Collectors Club picture, but of course we've got Mal's gun because I love Firefly and Serenity. You guys know this, right? Twilight Zone.
Yeah, no, it's with Twilight
Shatner.
Zone. Oh, it is that one. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it's the gremlin on the wing.
Yeah, the thing on the wing.
Yeah, it's the Hot Toys.
That's awesome.
Oh,
sweet.
Oh,
It's-
nice.
Yeah. And then 2 things. The Super 8 cube.
Yeah, okay. It took me a second. Looks like it's made of teeth.
And then last thing is a statue
cool.
of the alien from X-Files.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's decently heavy, and we lost the Hulk.
Let's power went out again. And he's in charge, so that's it. That's dangerous.
All right, Tim, you're hosting now.
I guess I am. I'm full screen.
We'll get the rest of your stuff. You didn't grab, I guess.
There's so much stuff that I didn't grab, but I wasn't anticipating Huck's Tower or whatever. But yeah, dude, this thing is awesome. This is like $40 or $50 or something like that, but it's so nice. It's on a magnet, just comes right off.
That's cool. Where's it from? Or who makes it, or where's it from?
This is QMX, which actually it's powered. It must be powered, and I never knew. It's got a little
funny.
battery.
Whenever it lights up or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I
We'll
never
get the
knew.
batteries if you have time.
Yeah.
Huck's going to his neighbor's house.
I love this thing though. This thing's so cool.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen
one of
Super 8
those
in years.
Yeah, it's one of those like Super 8. It's not a huge movie or anything like that. So to have a little prop replica of Super 8, I enjoy that one a lot.
That was cool, yeah.
But
I like that movie. It's been years since I've seen it though.
Yeah.
Gave me Goonie vibes, like it did for everyone else. So
and
all right, I'll show my wickets again.
I know. Now I feel like I should grab more. I'm like, I got more pops. I can find some more.
Right. Got more some somewhere. Try my Yoda stuff.
All right, I'll start looking.
Well,
of course, the guy who's posting has to go dead, not anyone else.
Since you guys
that's true.
Superheroes, though, Power Rangers have very sci-fi elements to them. I have a lot of Power Rangers, like a lot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, I mean, most of mine's sci-fi horror stuff, or half of it at least. All the figures. I'd look for my ones I couldn't find earlier, but that would be a waste of time because I would have found them by now.
Let me make it full screen so you guys can show more. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, he should have co-hosted with someone for emergencies.
Yeah, it's all good. And of course, though, we're the ones that all showed the props or the collectibles, and Huck is the one that didn't yet.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, he's the one in charge, so he can't like fill time by just moving on. He's he probably like went to go grab something and he like kicked the power cable off his computer or something like that.
When I looked this thing up on eBay, I legit looked this up today, and I could not believe how much this thing went for, though. Oh my god,
that's cool. And it's just like the basic.
It's
liquor. It's not like special in any way. It's just in a cool bottle.
This is just basic old Johnny Walker with the special box and markings on the bottle.
Yeah. I don't know if I've had Johnny Walker, but I doubt it's much special to.
Yeah, that's
buy if you want some.
Yeah, that's why I'm not opening it. I'm keeping that sucker sealed. Freaking love that movie.
I work in a store where I can get liquor literally every day. I don't need a.
I know something else I'll show.
Just grab all your sci-fi movies while we got time.
Grab all my sci-fi movies.
Look at all your VHS upstairs.
I do have
nice.
Oh, that the Lego one?
Yeah.
That
cool. Oh, that's cool. It's hard to gauge with the tires, but everything else I could kind of tell.
Yeah, which where is the? There we go.
Did it have liquor in it, like the other one?
You can turn the wheels down, or
sweet. Turn it into Back to the Future. Oh, it is Back to the Future 2, I guess, because it's got the Mr. Fusion on there.
Yeah, there's a way.
There he is.
There he is.
Show's over you. We did the rest of the segment.
Nice. Sorry, we had a power glitch and it shut my whole
say, like, oh, powering out again, damn it.
Yeah.
It's okay. We got even more stuff to show off. We're good.
Good. Keep it going. So,
I'm
Tim,
done.
those were great. Keep going.
Your turn. I'm tapped out.
Right.
Are you? All right.
So it had to be Hawk who dropped out.
I know, right? That's the one thing I am impressed with StreamYard is like even when the host drops out, as long as it's still going, you guys can keep going.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because you could very easily do that by accident too, which is probably the main reason it does that.
Yeah. All right, I'm back just in time. I will watch the replay to see what Tim pulled. All right, here we go. So now first up, all right, they're going to be these little custom guys. So you guys know you've seen like my Mego things that I collect and all that jazz. So they put out movie versions of only the two lead guys. So there's Spock in the movie attire, right? And you got Kirk in the movie attire. And that's it. Those are the only two they made, which is a bummer because when you want the entire crew, what are you going to do? Well, what you do is you buy 6 more of those. And then you're able to take because they have the original series in the TV show uniforms. So everyone that was captain, which is Spock's uniform, is wearing the captain. So the only other one that got upgraded to Admiral was Bones. So Bones has got it. We got Chekhov. We even got Scotty. We got Sulu, and I had to pull out my needle and thread, and I had to stitch a one for Uhura so it fit the small female figure.
You had to take it in.
Yeah, I had to take it in. Yeah. So all that is custom made. Cool. And of course, to get out of Star Trek, I also have other things. So I have a hoodie for the Orville. So if you see the Orville thing right
that's
there.
Cool.
So this is it's got great design on it. I mean, it's super comfy too. It's like it came from China. It took a while to get here, but it was only like $30, something like that. And it feels great. It's even got like the piping on the sleeve and everything. So super nice, super nice.
Orville's so good.
Speaking of your Back to the Future there, I do have a smaller version of the DeLorean there. You know, all the goodies. I was going to say the door's open. There they go. You know, one of those things.
Nice.
From The Fifth Element, we have the Lilu Dallas Multipass. I tried getting a Corbin Dallas Multipass ahead of time, but there's just a whole bunch of just Lilus. Not really a lot of Corbin Dallas. Maybe on Etsy or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's the Lilu, and it's like, and it's the actual one. I love the layout, and this can like come out.
Yeah.
So, so if you want to make your own ID card, and you're good at those skills, just photocopy that and you have your own multi-pass, y'all. All right, let me return this back to. So here is my sonic screwdriver from Doctor Who. If you guys know Doctor Who, you know he's got one of these bad boys, and it can open and unlock anything, any lock, anywhere that there is. And this is the one with Matt Smith. So digging that. Yeah, I just love props. Speaking of props, check this out. So for Father's Day, I got my girls to get me. Anybody care to guess what these are?
I know, but I can't.
They're Sci-Fi.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh shit! Wow. Well,
hopefully they were not expensive.
You can also
24 karat gold.
You can also tell they are very heavy. If you heard how and if I hang them about like that, what does it look like? Those are the dice that hang on the Millennium Falcon.
It's just the thing from Star Wars. Okay, that's
Chewbacca's head. So when Chewbacca bangs his head on the dice, getting in these the dice. Wow, those are heavy, man. Set those over here. Let's see. And to keep going on the Doctor Who thing, this is the Funko Pop. Mike, you'll recognize this. So there's the David Tennant Doctor, and then he goes in there like that.
That's funny.
So you get the full TARDIS with the Doctor. Hang on, let me set this down so I don't drop it. It's my wife, so yeah, you know. I got that for her. Okay, and you may keep hearing that. So there's a prop from Think Geek that you put on your wall, and when you go in and out of your office, there it is.
Yeah.
So this is the device that you'll see in the original series. Kirk always comes up and he hits the button, and then if you can even switch it to different sounds, and then see red alert. So it's got all the. I gotta wait for that to stop. Anyway, so I'll set that aside. But yeah, so it's got all this. Every time I go in and out of my office now, I hear shh, shh. And my wife's like, "Are you getting sick of that yet?" I'm like, "Not yet." So my buddy gave me this towel for birthday. It's just a Star Trek towel from the Next Generation. Clean up your mess with Star Trek. Speaking of Star Trek, all right, Derek, you'll appreciate this since you had bottle openers. There's my Starship Enterprise bottle opener, and yes, I use these. I use it all the time. It is like my go-to bottle opener, and it's just very, very cool. So it gets you a good shot of that. Just got the little prongs there. Snap it right off. And if you're hungry and you also want to cut yourself a pizza.
Nice.
I knew where that was going. As soon as you said hungry, I was like, "Oh, he's got the pizza."
That is awesome.
And you just take out the Enterprise and slice your pizza with the hole. Yeah. No regrets on that, right? When you take that out and slice up a pizza with a.
Yeah, you have to clean it for like 45 minutes just to put it back in the box.
Yeah. I don't use that as much as the bottle opener. Okay, let's see what else. One more. I got this sweet little R2 mug. When I was working over at Disney, they had, their Disney store there, and you could get like 20% off with your employee stuff. So we would just raid that because we only worked there for like 3 months. So we just, every time we could get over there, we bought stuff like that. So dig that mug. It's a good mug. Let's see. 2 more things. All right. So as you saw earlier with the Orville, have the season 1. These are always hard to show off, but the trading. Yeah,
they make cards for stuff still.
Yeah, they did. So
that's cool.
I'll try to thumb through them here.
Is there autograph ones thrown in too?
It's funny you say that. So I have to say that this is probably the most thorough set. Like, I just love the show so much that these are like chase cards. So I got all the chase cards, and then there's these, I'm trying to get the glare off. This other set of chase cards. And then there's an entire set of autograph cards. There's like 33 of them.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I have yet to add those in here because you can get like everyone that's not the main cast for probably under $100. So you get like 30 or 40 of those under $100. But when you want to get the main cast, McFarlane's probably going to cost you $400. So, but there's 2 right there. So you see 2 autographs. Let's see, right there at the bottom there.
All right, 2 questions. Is there a Norm one? Do you know? Did Norm have a card?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, very cool. How much is a box? Are they still around?
The box was like about when I got it 50 something. They're probably a little more now because season 1's so a while ago. But yeah, I had the full box, and that's how I made this set originally. And then I kept acquiring the other ones. And then I found if you just want to get all this stuff, it's almost behooves you just to go to eBay and get a full set that's got everything minus the autographs. You'll probably save a little money, even though it feels like you're spending more all at once. But half of it's also the fun is putting the set together. Getting all the packs, opening the packs, getting the piles, getting the 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Yeah.
Shit, man. I got to look into that. And I love Orville, and I had no idea there was cards.
Oh yeah, and I was disappointed because season 2 was supposed to have a set of cards, and there's this guy that's got an Orville channel, and I'm always joining his lives. I'm like, hey dude, any word on the season 2? And yeah, they just sort of bailed on it. I was like, there's not a lot of merch for that show.
No, there's not.
So that's why I got the jacket, and then I got that, and that's kind of it. And I got a book out there. I didn't grab the book.
Yeah.
Next up, you guys know I'm a fan of Galaxy Quest. So there's the patch right there. So if I would cosplay, I would totally cosplay as one of these from Galaxy Quest. And just so that I'm ready to go, I've got the gun and communicator as well.
That's cool.
So that's the stuff that they wear on their belts, and when they call Brandon, hey Brandon, we actually need you up. I knew it, And finally, and yes, if you want to see it, sure, here it goes. We got the Lord Vader helmet. There you go. I don't even know if it's on straight. I can barely see out of it.
It's close enough.
So yeah, so there's my Darth Vader helmet. Boy, oh my shit, I got a lot of junk laying around my room now.
Hopefully most of it stays in here.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. There you go. That's my haul.
My buddies and I used to make Star Wars parody videos, and I had that exact same Darth Vader mask and a Boba Fett or a Jango Fett like costume. Oh, glorious waste of time that was.
Yeah.
I want
those masks are fun though. They have a little tiny piece of Velcro at the top that keeps it on.
Yep.
It's funny. I got that when I was younger, so I actually had to like tape a sock on the inside of it so that it lifted it up a little higher for my eyes because it would just fall too low,
Oh
so
yeah.
I had to lift it up a little with something on my head. Mike, you wouldn't have that problem. Probably fit your head perfectly. You got a good Vader head. I got
That's good. That's good.
You got a David Prowse sized head down there.
Oh, that was good stuff. Well, good collectibles, y'all. Nice. All right, let's just let's see, dive back in real quick. See, we got some. Whoop. Kavina saying she loves her some Doctor Who. Mike Tim Creek and let's see. Can we still label alien films as science fiction, or is it just part of a reality? Let's see. Oh, look at this. So Blade Runner and 2019 is a snooze fest. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I saw 2049 for the first time. I think because it was, for me, having seen the other one so much, I kind of predicted too much of what was literally going on in that sequel. Like I knew he was he was a thing, and I knew who the girl was because she was the only girl in the movie. Of course, she's the thing. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, who else is it going to be? So yeah. Anywho, all right, let's just browse through. We got a lot of hays and hellos here. Draculina says, favorite sci-fi characters, Howard the Duck. Look at there, Mike.
Gotta put it on the 80s list. Come on, Draculina Horror. We gotta boost that up with some points.
Come on, he needs to see it up there. Oh, look, there's huge Funko Pops. Don't have space for them. I know. Mike, where do you put that? How many ginormous Funkos do you have? Those are enormous.
Yeah. 20 to 30, but I've stopped collecting them just because of the space. So I had like this one little shelf kind of awning area in the house, like a weird spot that I was able to stack a whole bunch of them, but I think I only have like maybe can fit one or two left there. So that's why I stopped collecting them. They just got too much. So I'm like, no, I'll just collect the small ones from now on, unless I see one that I really like. But yeah, they take up tons of space.
Yeah, you got to start narrowing that stuff down. Tony says, I love movie tie-in merch from fast food places that have a huge collection of different glassware.
Oh, no. Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
And, were you being called out? You didn't have any killer clowns,
I'm saving those for next month.
Something. Yeah. There you go. Hey, John's here. All of this is awesome, and you're awesome. Keep your eyes open. Let's see. Hope my vid makes it. Oh. When did you send it, Chris? I'm afraid I may have to show it on something. So, yeah. We did get others in. Welcome back, Hug. Thank you. Yep. Lost power, but I'm back. A lot of hellos and heys. Hey. Wow, a lot of heys. Okay, cool. I'm going to put a fork in it right here, Huck. Have the bottle opener as well. Nice. Okay. So let's go ahead. And would you guys like to see another video roll in here?
Yep.
Okay. Now, first thing I got to do is bring it back up because when I lost power, hang on, let's see. Yeah, so they all popped out of my thing here. Let's see.
Of course, it happened to the host, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know, right?
Like anyone else would have been like, oops, we'll be back in a minute. We'll have an emergency co-host next time.
I know, that would be fine. Fine. Okay, so I have that one and this one. Okay, we'll just do. All right. And speaking of, you know what, John. John.
Hi, my name's John. Welcome to my Nerd Cave. So I've been asked to go through a few of my Star Trek collectibles. So we're just going to get right into it. And I'm going to start out with my Spock bobblehead.
Nice.
Who doesn't want to have a Spock bobblehead? It's also fun to have this because another one of my favorite shows is The Big Bang Theory, and this has appeared in The Big Bang Theory a few times. Yeah, next, I've got my Captain Picard from Tapestry. Don't know why when I saw this I was like, out of the red uniform. Gotta have that. Got some mini lunch boxes.
Oh, yeah. Damage your mama daughter, not a bricklayer.
Make it so,
got
number
this
one.
Little fun VHS combo pack. It's got both the Tribble episodes in it, the original series and Deep Space Nine, and a Tribble.
And a Tribble.
Have this fun little novelty. Came out back when Star Trek the Motion Picture came out. It's a little matchbook. Just has advertising for the motion picture on it. Couple plushies. Got these from my nephew. And just as an example, I've got Mud's ship from the Eagle Moss collection. I actually have 30 some odd of these. So I have my Star Trek ornaments right here. I've got the tree topper there.
There's a lot.
That first one there is one I'm super happy to have. Apparently it's fairly rare. Got them in order by year. Another one that I really like is this USS Enterprise C with battle damage. That was a New York Comic-Con special edition.
You could do the whole tree in Star Trek.
I know.
The most important thing,
and this is very cute.
Star Trek related, not part of my collection, but Star Trek related, is my daughter, named after a Star Trek character, Jadzia Ezri. This is her a few days ago. Yeah, want to see some fun stuff in the comments. Have any questions or anything, definitely let me know. Until then, have a great day.
Yes, I don't know if you heard, but her name was Jadzia Ezra, which are the two characters from Deep Space Nine.
Oh, cool.
That's her name. That's why she's Star Trek related. That's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool name.
I know. I wonder what she gets it like at school. It's like, oh, that's so exotic. Where's that from? All right, yo. Let's see. Here's our next segment, the cinematic attic. Of course, we all know it. We love it. There's a little graphic there where we're going to basically choose in this particular cinematic attic, we're going to pick 2 movies for you guys. And one is going to be a vintage sort of classic science fiction and more of a modern, we'll say 90s and above type science fiction. Right. So that is our thing here. Let's go ahead and start with, let's Let's go with whoops, that is not the thing we want right there. That was interesting. I'm gonna let the TV go first. Mike, why don't you go?
Yay, I can do better than the TV, so that's good.
Yeah,
all right. Thanks for helping me out there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so classic movie first then. We'll not go with War of the Worlds. We will go with When Worlds Collide. Yes. So I was so happy I got this Paramount Presents 4K because I did not know I was getting a second movie. So that was pretty cool. But glad I watched When Worlds Collide. It's an interesting premise. I only watched it one time, so hopefully I remember correctly. But basically, I think their planet's being destroyed. They got to go find a new planet, and then they have to find a way to select the people to go on there. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, if you guys have seen this. But I think that was a premise. I thought it was a pretty interesting premise. It's still in color, even though it's a classic movie, so it's not too old. But it does move a little bit slower. But it's just more of an intriguing philosophical idea kind of movie of who do you select to go to the new planet and all that good stuff. So, yeah, When Worlds Collide, I highly recommend. Have you guys seen this one yet?
I didn't get around to that one yet.
No, nope. That's a cool set, though. I should grab that.
Tim, how could you have not seen this? The classic man right there. You got to check this one out. Very, very good. You'll like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, highly recommend that one. And then, okay, this is a masterpiece. Hopefully everybody's seen this at least 5 times. But for your modern, got to have a Love and Monsters, one of the best movies ever created. Tell me somebody's seen this on the panel here.
I saw it.
Oh, okay.
I saw it.
I love this movie. It has everything you could want. It has action. It has the sci-fi elements. It takes place in like a dystopian future where I guess bugs and other Earth creatures are all mutated and are all giant now and become monsters. And you got love in the movie, so you got romance. I mean, it has everything in there. It just has everything. It's super thrilling. You don't expect what's going to happen. At least it surprised me. It kind of threw me off towards the end. So, yeah, Love and Monsters, can't recommend enough. This is perfection. And you get some great acting talent in there, too. It's Michael Rooker, right? The one that plays Yondu. He's in there as well. Yeah. So that's awesome. He's great in the movie. And then I think the little kid in the movie, is that the same little kid in Barbie? I may be correct or I may be wrong. Yeah, I feel like it is. I feel like the kid is the same kid in both.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
Yeah, but she's great in this movie. So she was really, really good in this movie. But yeah, you got to check this out, everybody. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Except Tim did not like it, apparently. But that's
it's okay. It's all right.
It's perfection. It is perfection, everybody.
I remember it was shortlisted at the Oscars for visual effects, and I was like, really, that one?
It's amazing. The effects are fantastic. The monsters look great. They're all creative design. So, yeah, a really well done movie.
Well, let's segue that. Tim, tell us what you thought about that movie.
It was okay.
So for my classic one, I'm going for a movie called Things to Come.
Oh, yeah.
Criterion sale ended, but hey, keep this in mind for next time. This was actually created, this was written by H.G. Wells because he watched Metropolis and hated Metropolis and wanted to make a better movie. So this came out in 1936. It's unique. I don't think I've seen really much like this. It shows basically the end of civilization, but then civilization rebuilding itself over the course of 100 years. And it's not about following the same character. It's interesting. You're following different characters over the course of the 100 years of civilization building itself back up. It's fascinating. The whole grand plan is to go to the moon, which is interesting, 20 some years before it actually happens. Right. So, 30 some years actually before it happens. So yeah, very good. Definitely check this one out. Next sale.
That's cool, Tim. That's cool. I've looked at that so many times. It's such I don't know why I haven't grabbed it yet, but it fascinates me. Every time I see the trailer, I'm like, that looks
very
cool.
Striking cover.
Yeah, it's really good. And then for a newer one, some people don't like this. Actually, enough people don't like it. But I love Ghostbusters. Keep that in mind. Evolution.
Oh, yeah.
This is Ivan Reitman making a Ghostbusters-esque movie, but instead of ghosts, it's alien things. It has a lot of similarities to Ghostbusters, and I love Ghostbusters. This is a silly, fun time. This is a blast. Took way too long to come to Blu-ray. I was so excited when it finally did. This has Power Man 5000 in the soundtrack. What's not to love about that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have a blast with this one every time. It might be technically bad. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes or people say. I have fun with it. But I also love Ghostbusters too, so whatever.
I remember being so excited about that movie when it came out, and I was like, "That was okay." My wife was literally talking about it like 2 days ago. Like, we should watch Arcade Evolution.
Yeah, the Evolution in that.
It feels so Ghostbusters like. Like we didn't get Ghostbusters 3 from Ivan, so like that's kind of what this feels like.
Yeah, it's definitely Ghostbusters-esque.
All right, well, let's keep the roll. I'm going to go next. I'm going to save Derek. I want to see what he's got in his chamber there. I'm going to go way back, and we're going to dig into the original Planet of the Apes. Huge fan of the original stuff. I'm just a big makeup practical effects fan. Like, to me, anytime you can get an actor behind makeup, that's why, like, Goldblum's great in The Fly. Tim Curry is great in Legend. You know, they just rock those prosthetics. And it all started way back with the original Planet of the Apes. And to all the new people out there who have seen the new ones, you know, the Rise, the Dawn, the War, Planet of the Apes, those are really great CGI versions, but those, you know, come from this. And check it out. Like, just give it a little love if you haven't like bothered with those old ape movies with the goofy masks, you know. And yeah, you know, you guys have seen it, right? It's funny because sometimes there are guys in the background just wearing ape masks, you know, and you can kind of tell with the eye holes, but you know, but Roddy McDowell and Zira, blanking on her name, who played Zira, they're just phenomenal. They just rock those prosthetics so well. They even worked out that part, you know, where where it kind of like goes in and out, where they're like, where they're breathing. Roddy figured that out when he was like in front of a mirror and he was like kind of breathing, and the mask would kind of like inhale and exhale, and he's like, ah. And so watch how he brings that into performance. The only downside is that sometimes when you're watching it, they have like the ape teeth that you see, but if you look past the ape teeth, you see their human teeth with black, with black stuff on it. I'm like, you gotta love it. Maybe these apes they have two sets of teeth. You know,
like we look sharks.
Who's to say? They don't. And of course, Heston chewing up the scene, you know, yeah, blew it up. All right, riddle me this, y'all. Why? I get it that it's like from 68. And by now, you know the twist. But why do you need to put that on the cover of the DVD and the Blu-ray? Why ruin the moment by putting it on the cover?
I don't know the twist yet. Don't tell me.
Well, don't go look at.
They're all dead. They're all already dead. That's and they're ghosts.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you watch though, you would be like, oh, that, because it's been, you know, pun intended, aped in a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's why that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's that joke I didn't get from everything I've ever watched.
But it's a super great twist, man. It's like when the ending of that is like it really knocks you out. It's so good. And then I'm just gonna jump ahead to something you saw in the little trailer I made is Independence Day. And I'll tell you why that one just pops for me. Loving sci-fi and sort of saucer movies and flying saucers and aliens and all that. We haven't really had one like that in a long time. And when Emmerich, you know, put this out, the trailer, do you guys remember the teaser on that? Like, and it was all about the ships coming out of the clouds and everyone looking up, and you're like, what are they looking at? And it's these 15-mile spaceships, like V. Back in the day, on TV in the 80s, we had V, and those were big saucers, but they weren't 15 miles wide. I mean, they were just enormous. And that trailer promised a lot. Right. And I'm like, oh man, if this thing doesn't deliver this, I mean, this looks to be just like the best popcorn movie, you know, and they tossed Will Smith in there. Like Emmerich really fought for Will because he wanted some diversity in the cast. And there was like pushback on him. They're like, just let me have it, you know? And of course, Will is so fantastic in the film, and Goldblum, you know, there's even a spot in Goldblum where he spoofs his own character from Jurassic Park. Tim, you know the part in Jurassic Park when he's looking in the mirror and he's like, faster, must go faster.
Yeah.
He says the same exact line when they're in the ship.
When they're escaping. Yeah.
Yeah. Faster, must go faster. And which I love. It's so good. And for me, it absolutely delivered. I was just so thrilled to see just a space movie and the president kicks ass. He gets out there, gives a speech, and everybody, again, I was like researching all these before, the thing. And at the end of that speech, he was just giving the speech to a crowd. they weren't cued to applaud. But Pullman, man, he just delivered it with such gusto that everyone just applauded. And he's like, keep rolling, and he keeps the applause in there. And I mean, it's just fantastic stuff. So yeah, for me, just and that the tension of building up to it, the countdown, with Goldblum's like laptop and the countdown, and it's day 3, day 1, day 2, day 3, and then boom, July 4th, and it's like it's time's up. He says, he slaps the thing shut and he goes, time's up. I was like, oh my god. And then when the Mayhem is released, it just blew me away. So yeah, I dug that stuff, y'all.
Oh yeah, that's one. I miss blockbusters like that. That's all.
Yeah.
That was like the
now anybody else
is still delivering stuff? Moonfall.
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, it's god awful.
Yeah.
I keep hearing that.
20 minutes were pretty bad, and then I turned it off.
But did you guys, now Mike, I know you might be too young, but did anybody else see it in the theater?
I haven't even seen the movie yet, so.
You talking about Independence Day? Or...
No, I need to get on that. It's on the watch list, okay?
Okay, so
yeah.
literally,
I've
Mike,
seen Moonfall. I got the 4K of Moonfall. Are you saying I should have got?
I saw Independence Day in the theater. Yeah, it was amazing. I love that.
Dude, you need to get rid of Moonfall immediately to get Independence Day.
Yeah.
Do not watch Moonfall and think that Independence Day is similar because it's the same director. Like,
well, I had fun with Moonfall, so if it's a
that's good. If you had fun with
if you can enjoy that, you'll think Independence Day is as good as Love and Monsters. Let's put it that way.
I don't know about that. Like, Love and Monsters is on my top list. So
yeah.
All right, Derek.
What do I have? Oh yeah, that's right.
Do you have a movie I've seen?
I hope not, because these are both great. You should watch them both if you haven't. My classic one, what year was it? 1976. I went with, not as old as some, I know, but I went with Logan's Run.
Nice.
Going to get remade about 8,000 times by Bryan Singer, and it never happened, and now it's never going to happen. At least by Bryan
Singer. Too bad. I'd love to see it.
But this has Michael York, and I can never remember the lady's name who's in it. Jenny Agutter. You'll recognize her from every movie ever.
American Werewolf in London.
Yep, and a bunch of other stuff. She's in Winter Soldier as well, I believe, for newer people. But essentially, it's like this.
Yeah.
What year was it? 2274, and it's like this perfect society, and everyone's youthful and lovely. And then when you're on your 30th birthday, or on the eve of your 30th birthday, they do this ritual, which it shows on the back here with all this weird circle of people. And then basically you go on to the next plane of existence, and Michael York discovers that, oh wait, they're just killing all these people and we need to get out of here. So the movie is him trying to escape this place, and he finds like a more primitive world on the outside of it. And it's super fun. It has amazing like models in it from the 70s. Like I said, it won for best visual effects, and it's just hilarious because it came out the year before Star Wars. So if you like watch this and compare it to the visual effects in Star Wars, it's like they could have been made about 50 years apart and you would have believed it because it's like the jump in quality is so ridiculous, but it has so much charm and like its old model visual effects. I just love it. I need to watch it again. It's been a really long time, but this is a very cool, and it's been made fun of just like Planet of the Apes and 1,000 things, that people have this little gem in their hand and it starts to glow, and that means it's time for them to essentially die, but they don't know that. So that is Logan's Run. Highly recommended. Good, very, very sci-fi from the 70s. And the more modern one, I couldn't decide which one of two I wanted to do. And then I grabbed it off the shelf earlier, and I was like, Michelle Yeoh was in this, because that's how long it's been since I watched this. And I love it. And it's Sunshine from 2009. I think it was Danny Boyle's follow-up to, or was it 2007? 2007. So it came out like the year before Slumdog Millionaire. And you got Cillian Murphy. Everyone likes him now. So if you haven't seen a lot of Cillian Murphy movies, go watch Sunshine. He's the lead in this one.
It's got Chris Evans too.
Yep, Chris Evans is awesome. This is the movie that made, I always liked him and everything I saw him in. This is the movie that made me like him as an actor, because I'm like, he's really good in this. He's not just like funny like he was in everything else I'd seen him in up to that point. But you got Michelle Yeoh, you got Benedict Wong. It has a really good ensemble. Rose Byrne, Cliff Curtis. Yeah, a great cast. Essentially, the sun is dying, and Oppenheimer and his crew here have to bring a nuke up to the moon. How ironic. So they have to try to restart the sun so the Earth doesn't die. And there's actually a mission before them that failed. So they're the last mission to try to do this, and that's the gist of the movie. And it has really, really good effects for being like a smaller, mid to low budget science fiction movie, especially in the late 2000s. It looks great, and yeah, I highly recommend it to anyone I see. I'm like, have you seen Sunshine? You need to watch it because it's fantastic. Now I want to watch it. So
you were between that and Moon, right?
Yes, and I figured I was going to talk about Moon at some other point, so I went with Sunshine instead.
Good pick. I haven't seen Sunshine, so add it to my list. All right, y'all. Let's. I think we're ready for our next round here. I'm going to save the video for the next round after that. All right. Yeah. Because it's good. You're like, this guy is very cool. All right. So next up is our Hollywood Spotlight. And what we're going to do with this spotlight, y'all, is we're going to take some individual who's basically known for science fiction, has a really good wheelhouse in science fiction. But we want to try to talk about some of the other things outside of science fiction that they managed to make good on. All right. So I'll just throw this out there. Who wants to take pole position here? Who wants to go
Me,
first?
I guess.
Derek, he's up. He's already there.
You got first yet. I'll go first. All right. So I went with like the lamest option possible, which is George Lucas, because there he is on the right. And I went George Lucas because not only am I not even lifelong, since I was like 15, honestly, I didn't grow up watching Star Wars. I organically fell in love with it. It wasn't force-fed to me as a child, like a lot of people. And I fell in love with the original trilogy because of my buddy who loves it and so on and so forth. And that's obviously the thing he's known for and has made him $4 billion and then some off of it. And his original film, that was an extended version of his college thesis film, is my namesake on the screen here, THX 1138 from 1971. It has Robert Duvall in it. If you haven't seen this, it is a very weird, slow-paced, not in a bad way, because it's a very short movie. Dystopian future. It's a pretty movie. It's all the sound design is amazing. I think who did it? Walter Murch, or is that the? Yes, Walter Murch. I believe he co-wrote it and did the sound design. It's honestly worth watching just for the sound design, but that's not what I'm talking about today because that's obviously science fiction. And then there's Star Wars. I had them all just so I could remember what I'm talking about. But what I honestly think is his best film, which is not Star Wars or THX 1138, you pretty much run out of options because he only directed the 3 movies, I think. But my favorite film of his is American Graffiti, which is
so good.
It's gorgeous, and I can't wait to buy it. Also has Harrison Ford in an itty bitty bit part. There he is on the back, super young. And this was nominated for Best Picture and Director for George Lucas, and Screenplay, and a couple other things for supporting actress. And then it's got Ronnie Howard, back when he was still called Ronnie Howard, Richard Dreyfuss, Candy Clark, and a guy from Untouchables, whose name I can never remember, Charlie Martin Smith, are the lead characters in this movie. Mm-hmm. It's just like a time capsule from 1962. The film came out in 73, if I didn't say that. And it's basically inspired by George Lucas's love of racing cars and growing up in that time. So it's kind of a nostalgic piece for him. But it's all set in one night situation, like the night before the last day of summer before all these kids go to college, and they're kind of contemplating their life, if they want to go to college or they don't want to go to college, so on and so forth. And it's shot in sequence, but it's multiple storylines happening concurrently throughout the same time, which wasn't a thing they did that often back then. So that's why I think it's like his best written movie, or at least his most originally written movie. Because Star Wars is just pretty much a space western based on movies he liked when he was younger, like a lot of Kurosawa movies and stuff. This is like a wholly original concept that was all his, and I believe it's his finest film. So if you're a Star Wars fan and a THX 1138 fan, both of us out there, you need to see American Graffiti because it's amazing, and it has possibly my favorite soundtrack of all time because I love old.
Just gonna say that. Yes. say something about that soundtrack. Two disc set.
Yeah, so good. It's got like 100 songs in it or some absurd thing. But yeah, and Wolfman Jack. So you can't go wrong with it.
I know. It's got the tracks of
Wolfman. Have it already. Wait for that 4K. Just buy it because it's amazing.
You're getting the steelbook, right?
Yeah, I really will actually. And I don't usually care enough to get the steelbooks, but for that one I'm going to.
Do you think they could get away with a soundtrack like that today? I mean, George just said, I want every song I love on this movie, and it's on the soundtrack. And we've talked before about how TV shows are getting, songs pulled off because they can't get the rights. So I don't know if he's just got something rubbed into the magic of American Graffiti that, they all stay there. So it's
yeah. I mean, yeah. They at the time they probably didn't have to spend like the budget for that movie super low too.
Yeah.
So the fact that they can afford all those songs is impressive with the low budget it had.
What do you think that is? Like maybe back in the day, it's like people were just excited to have their song pop in a movie. Like, oh yeah, it's a movie. It's going to be huge. Yeah, take it. Pay us $150 and use our song.
Yeah.
That's publicity for those bands.
There's probably less, fine print on how they could play it and how long they could have the rights for and stuff. So it's like, oh, it's in the movie, therefore it's in the movie, period. But it also could just, all the songs or most of them could be owned by the same parent company or something like that, where it's not as difficult to get them all. There's always those situations too, but yeah, I love it.
Well, there you go. You got James wanting to see it now. He hasn't seen it yet. So
me too. I haven't seen it yet either. So
yeah, it's in October or September it's coming out. I forget, but I can't wait.
Nice. All right, Mike, what you got?
Yes, I'll be spotlighting Keanu Reeves. Everybody loves Keanu Reeves. There you go. Look at that flowing hair and that beard. I mean, come on, irresistible, right? But yeah, let me go ahead and just show, his sci-fi stuff with the Matrix trilogy. Of course, the first one's really good. The other two are kind of like masterpieces if you look at this next one. So just watch this first before you see those other ones. And then the other ones become instantly better. But then he's also in other sci-fi stuff like, the Bill and Ted movies. First two Bill and Teds are great. Yes, not so much the last one. But Huck, you're in the last one, so it makes it better.
That's right. Yep. Tiny cameo.
Yep. But he's done other stuff, like voice acting in DC League of Super Pets as Batman. Highly recommend this movie. He does a great voice of Batman, so who knows? Maybe he'll be a Batman one day in live action form. But then, of course, you guys know it. You have the John Wick movies, right? Action-packed movies. Everybody loves John Wick, so you got to have all the John Wick movies. So John Wick is fantastic. Fourth one, by the way, is probably the best physical media release of the year. So look at that. Amazing. But he's done a whole bunch of other stuff. He's cameoed in other movies like Always Be My Maybe. Great cameo in that movie if you guys have seen that one. That's like a rom-com movie out there. Mm-hmm. But he's just done tons of movies. He's done other sci-fi stuff too I haven't seen yet, like Johnny Mnemonic, and also what was the other one? The Day the Earth Stood Still, that remake. I heard it was terrible. I heard don't see it, so I didn't.
I was gonna say you should see Johnny Mnemonic if you didn't bring it up, but don't want Day the Earth just.
I heard that. I'm like, do I really want to buy this overpriced movie it was like going for 20 plus or maybe 30? I'm like, nope, not gonna go with that.
No, see the original on that. Yeah. The original is so good.
And then I do want to see him in Devil's Advocate. He's in that movie, right? Yeah. I'm gonna see that in a few days. I did order it recently, so gonna check that out. But yeah, he's done a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's the stuff I remember.
Very good. You gotta love Keanu. Tim, what you got there, friend?
So I am gonna go with, if I pronounce his name correctly, because I hear it different ways, but Denis Villeneuve, whatever you want to. I don't. I don't speak French, but that dude that was on screen has created stuff like Blade Runner 2049, taking a cult classic and making a sequel and making a freaking awesome one that apparently other people like me like it more than the original. He also did Arrival.
Arrival's great.
Freaking awesome. This dude knows sci-fi and knows it well.
Arrival's great. That's so good.
So freaking good. He did Dune and has Dune Part 2 coming out the end of this year, as long as they do not delay it. Yeah. But so that's even more sci-fi. But outside of sci-fi, Enemy, very good. But the two that really, Prisoners, oh my lord, this movie is freaking fantastic. The performances in this are top notch. This gives you at the edge of your seat the entire movie. If you haven't seen this, it is kids getting abducted and the father and the cop at odds, trying to figure out. It's insanely good, so freaking good. And then one of my favorite current writers, Taylor Sheridan, however, that the guy that does Yellowstone, but also did River and Hell or High Water. He also wrote Sicario, and Denis directed Sicario. That's two heavy hitters between writing and directing, and Sicario kicks ass, man. Oh my god, this movie it hits hard right from the freaking start when they're busting into the drug house, and oh my lord, this movie is incredible, like absolutely incredible. Like this is one of my favorite of his filmography for the most part. Like it's the performances top notch, action is great, soundtrack is great. God, I love this movie. So yeah, this dude he does not miss, in my opinion. Just doesn't miss. If I see his name, I'm in. It doesn't. I don't even need to see a trailer. I'm in.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are amazing, Tim. So, some of those I didn't even know was him. Yeah. Like I was like, Prisoner. I didn't realize Prisoners was Denis.
Yeah.
See, this is great.
Yeah, that was like his first big one, wasn't it? In America, I think, wasn't it? Prisoners. Or is there one?
Maybe, but it's one of his ones that appealed the most to the mass market because I mean anybody can get into Prisoners.
Yeah, Prisoners is fantastic.
All right, y'all. Well, let's see the guy I'm gonna spotlight. So the reason I'm gonna pick this guy, you know him, you love him. It's Bill Shatner. Bill Shatner, y'all. Look, it's a very, very tricky thing when you are part of any sort of genre, whether it's science fiction, superheroes, you know, that kind of genre can really pigeonhole you and keep you there, you know, even like sitcoms. I mean, look at people like the Friends actors, you know, a lot of times that's what they got. And yet Jennifer Aniston's able to break away a little bit. It's really hard when you are part of some really massive franchise to keep reinventing yourself. So because of this, I'm going to approach Bill like I'm his buddy or something. Approach Bill a little bit differently. I'm not going to hold up a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go over like what he's done to be different. All right. So we all know before Star Trek, he was in this fantastic Twilight Zone episode, The Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Yep, remember? There's a man on the wing of the plane.
This man.
Super. I mean, it is so good. If you haven't seen it, try to dig it up online. It is a great, great film. So, and then after Star Trek came Kingdom of the Spiders.
Oh, yeah.
Not a great movie, but, you know, it was a lead for Bill. And then, you know, slowly he just had to keep trying to find vehicles for himself. And it came along here with Airplane 2, the sequel.
Airplane 2 is
great. He was like the best thing in Airplane 2.
Yeah,
like
he's
perfect. And and he's so funny. You know, that's the thing about Bill is he can do like comedy and drama and, you know, sci-fi and all that stuff. So he was super funny in that. And then, of course, TJ Hooker, gosh, I almost said the wrong word. TJ Hooker was a great show when I was growing up because here was Captain Kirk, you know, basically in another lead role as a cop, which is perfect for Shatner. It was like just in his wheelhouse. So nice. And you can see he just trying to reinvent himself. And even when he's not reinventing himself, he's playing himself like right here in Free Enterprise. I met the writer and director of this film, and basically they love Bill. You know, they love Star Trek, and they wrote this for Bill. And, you know, you can't make this film if Bill doesn't say yes to it. And they were, you know, there's a lot of pushback because he gets that kind of stuff a lot. And like, no, just read it. And so the two guys, it's Eric McCormick from, you know, what's the show? Will and Grace.
It looks familiar.
Plays a great. He's playing basically one of the two guys are playing basically Mark A. Altman, who's the writer, and Robert Meyer Burnett. That's who these two guys are playing. And so the one playing Mark Altman, like he does a Shatner moment in there where he's basically quoting Star Trek the whole time. It is a really good movie, y'all. And I didn't see this until I got COVID last year. So I just dug up this movie. It was so delightful and funny. Love that. If you saw Third Rock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, did anybody see the big giant head? So the greatest thing I remember about this is he's literally playing the same. So he gets off the plane. And what he says to John Lithgow, because he's the big giant head, he's the guy in charge of the aliens that Lithgow and the family are from. And when the big giant head, known as, Shatner there, gets off the plane, he's like, well, how was your trip? And Shatner's like, it was strange. There was a man on the wing of the plane. And he totally references his Twilight Zone moment. And then John Lithgow, if you remember, played the same role in the Twilight Zone movie. And he goes, funny, the same thing happened to me. And so fantastic inside joke between the two of them playing the same character. Of course, cameos in like Miss Congeniality, Dodgeball. Even did some voiceover work in Over the Hedge. He was fantastic.
He's awesome.
And wrapping it up with his Emmy-winning performance 2-time, actually 3-time. He got a supporting role back before it became a show, I think when it was on The Practice. And then when it became Boston Legal and it's its own thing, he got two more Emmys. So I believe it's 3. So could be wrong, but he's got at least 2, maybe 3. And that's just amazing. So as a Shatner fan, to hear him finally win an Emmy, because look, he's just a good actor. I always get annoyed when people say, he's over the top. He's got all this thing. I mean, that's just, you can say the same thing about people like Christopher Walken. Walken has a certain cadence, right, about his performance. And, and if you're going to love that about Walken, you got to love that about Shatner. And that's what I love so much about him is he's just keeping at it, reinventing himself, and to the point where he finally even got selected to go to space by Jeff Bezos. So the real Bill Shatner, real life Captain Kirk, got to go into space. And what an emotional thing that was on Amazon Prime. They had the whole show. And it was phenomenal. So
I was just trying to remember. I remembered him from something I watched recently too. He was Juliet's father in Psych also.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I love Psych. Yeah.
That's funny.
See, so good stuff. Any good Shatner memories? Anybody?
Not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much. I forgot it was in Third Rock from the Sun though with John Lithgow. It's hilarious. I watched it.
Yeah. That was such a funny moment, especially if you had seen Mike. Have you seen Twilight Zone the movie? Or has anybody seen that? Derek, sounds like you.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a terrific inside joke.
It's a good movie. It's just retreading stuff they've done.
Yeah, it's just like a higher quality version of the show, basically.
I think that there was only one original, like, new story, wasn't it? Kick the Can, or no? Kick the Can is probably.
Can was right. The story with Vic Morrow, which is not even. Completed.
The one that he couldn't finish because of horrible things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good though.
It's decent, but you could tell it's not finished.
Yeah, it just like ends. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our spotlight on some sci-fi people. That was a lot of fun, y'all. Good picks, man. I wonder if people are filling their carts at home with so many things. Like, I know I'm just getting stuff from you guys I hadn't seen, especially Denise, right? Tim, like some of those I'm like, wow, okay, I gotta see more stuff now, because I like Dune too. Like a lot of people weren't fans of Dune. I'm talking, his Dune.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wife and I liked it quite a bit. I can't wait for Dune 2, but we'll talk about that.
Sicario, right? I
have not.
Dude.
It's good. I need to rewatch it, but
you gotta see Sicario.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds awesome. All right. Well, before we get to our next segment, I guess we'll go ahead and see our final collector who chimed in for us. So if you guys are ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. My computer's not. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Tony here from Mass of the 80s. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. A big thanks to Hook and the guys for asking me to come on and show some stuff for Collectors Club. If you know me and you know the channel, you'll know that I'm into all things 80s related, especially 80s sci-fi, 80s B-movies, 80s action, 80s horrors, anything like that. I am down with it. So please guys, come and follow me while we have a look at some of my collectibles. So first off, we have the Holy Trinity of Star Wars films. Yep. This is my original trilogy collection on original VHS. The thing about these VHS releases, this was the last time that the original presentation of Star Wars was put to physical media. Next up, we'll have a look at some of my original movie posters.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with video shop posters. Here in the UK, video shop posters were either A1 or A2 size. I love quads and I love US 1 sheets, but they're so difficult to present in anywhere. This is one of the framed original Time Cops that I've got. Next up, we have got a David Cronenberg classic, and it is Existence. Here we have one of my favourite posters. This is Blade Runner from the director's cut release. I absolutely love this artwork. I mean, I'm not the huge fan of pop vinyl, but you've got to represent and you've got to have the Bill and Ted. Next up, we've got some artwork from my very good friend, talented Mr. David Kennedy, aka Cherry Sheriff. And this is some of his work. Absolutely sublime pieces of work. So again, we've got some more artwork from Mr. David Kennedy. This one is the most badass character in the Star Wars universe, Boba Fett. And these last ones, some pieces that Dave did personally for me. That's Matt Tracker from Mask, from any 80s cartoon. Again, another one of my favourite characters, which is Hawk from Battle of the Planets. And then we go over to another one, which is Ulysses from Ulysses 31. Excellent show. And then finally, Ace McCloud from the TV show Centurions. So that was it. A brief and a little look at a few items that I've got within my collection. But again, guys, thank you very much for letting me show a few of my items. I hope to see you again soon. See you later. Bye-bye.
Dude, his posters, man.
Right? I knew you'd like that.
Yeah.
I just liked his vintage wrestling figures because I had both of them.
You saw those?
Next to those.
Yeah. Yeah, posters were great. I love the vintage Star Wars covers. I like the artwork on those.
Yeah, it's cool to see like the overseas versions of the same things we have that have different artworks like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been just getting a kick out of all the new collectibles people have. It's astonishing what's out there, y'all. I mean, unless you're Derek, clearly you got the whole truck in front of you. I got to step up my game, Derek, on the next one.
Yeah. I thought I had nothing, and I was like, oh wait, I got all this crap.
I got tons of stuff. All right, here we go. Next up, our next segment is called the Sci-Fi Universe Mashup. Basically, what we're going to do for you guys is we're going to take two characters or two universes, and we're going to mash them up and tell you why we want to see these two universes come together and what might be a fun scenario should we do that. So in the comments, feel free to play along. Like, what would you love to see as a mashup? Because I think there's some fun to be had with this. So Derek, why don't we start with you on this one?
There I am. All right. So this was like the hardest thing to pick for some reason. And
I know, right?
Very easy one occurred to me. Apparently easy enough that I wasn't the first one to think of it. And I feel like I'm kind of cheating because it does exist in some form or another. But I want to see this in movie form and not just video game form. Imagine how amazing the original Terminator movie would have been. I'm holding Terminator 2.
RoboCop.
Because it looks cooler.
Yeah.
Well, we already know. We talked about it. Pretend Lance Hendrickson was played by Peter Weller, and you see him get just the shit blown out of him halfway through that movie. Then what does the police department do with OCP? They turn him into RoboCop to battle the Terminator in movie form. It writes itself, right? Come on. It doesn't need to be some video game with no story on Sega Genesis. It should be a kick-ass movie. I want to see Peter Weller fight Arnold Schwarzenegger toe-to-toe and see what happens. That would just be fun. And the universes would mesh very easily together, I think, because they're very grounded, minus the time travel part. Yeah, I just think that'd be a fun one. And it's like two of my favorite things ever. It's like Alien versus Predator, except it could actually work in a movie.
NECA did figures for those two. I have them somewhere in the house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're so freaking cool. That was a cool ass game.
Yeah,
they're cool picks.
Do you think who would win? Do you have a who
I would
win?
want RoboCop to win just because you wouldn't expect it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kyle Reese and Linda Hamilton can do it, RoboCop can.
All right, sure. All right, Mike, what's your mashup?
Yes, so we will also be using Terminator, but we're going to mash it up with something different here. We're going to mash it up with Matrix, of course, because this would make the most sense for a story. Because in the Matrix, the machines have won and overtaken everything, right? So what you do is you create a movie in between Terminator 3 and Matrix 1, right? Where it's the transition film of the Terminators once again taking out everybody. They're having their big war, and then they eventually win pretty much and take over in the Matrix world. So to me, the story just flows together and makes sense based off the premises of the movies, right? Did I think about that correctly? I think I did.
No, that could work. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that works. And
Batteries
then we
and
don't
Terminators
get
run on. I get it.
exactly, yeah. And then we don't get a Terminator Salvation, which is the most important part because that movie is awful. That worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah. So
Better than the one.
Saves us from a lot of bad Terminator movies out there, you know. So
I think in general, people love mashing Terminator with anything.
Yeah, it's just cool to do with it.
Terminator, Mr. Spock,
Yeah.
let's go.
And it would fit perfectly right now with all the AI stuff going on. I mean, this is the time to mash Terminator with something. So
yeah, they warned us 30 years ago.
Yep.
Tim, what you want to mash up, buddy?
So I don't know who has watched the show Fringe. It's damn good. I can totally imagine during an episode of this, all of them are trying to figure out this weird, odd case. A lot of science and supernatural mixed together. And I could totally picture Mulder and Scully popping up to assist. So these two would blend together so well, partially because this is basically like a spiritual successor to X-Files. But yeah, these two would be amazing together. And I wish it actually happened. That would be cool as hell. But yeah, I freaking love X-Files, and I'm really loving Fringe. I didn't finish it yet. We've been starting our watch, but I'm pretty freaking far, and I love it.
Those are actually two good things to meld together, you know?
Yeah.
Like, super good themes.
I haven't even seen Fringe, but I'm like, yeah, that works really well just because I know the gist of it. I need to rewatch X-Files. God, it's been years.
X-Files was so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially the one with Bruce Campbell in it.
Remember that really freaky one with the people under the stairs? Remember that? The family, the creepy family that was under the stairs?
Yeah,
Oh.
kind of. I like the one with Percy Wetmore in it where he like squeezes under doorways and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hi again.
All right, yeah. All right, so I have a very weird mashup. So we're going to take no Terminator. So we're going to take Men in Black, I'll tell you who, and Star Trek, but two particular characters. Let me tell you why. So we're going to take Captain Kirk, and we're going to blend him with K. All right, so this is the Tommy Lee Jones character. So picture this, if you will. So the Guardian is there, right? It's a time machine. He goes through the Guardian, pops out into the era that is Men in Black, but Will Smith isn't there yet, right? So he has to join forces with K. Now it's a little bit pre, Star Trek time, so it's a little bit of a back step for Captain Kirk. So he's got to learn the ways with these ancient weapons to fight aliens in a way that he's not accustomed to. He's used to, using diplomacy and then fighting, then using that Kirk fu when he has to. And, and then through the training and diligence of Kay, he's able to rise to the occasion. However, near the end, Kay realizes, Kirk has to go back to his time. And right as he flashes him, he's going to use the flash. Kirk doesn't, he's impervious to the flash. He still remembers because right as the flash happens, they both get sucked back through the time portal. Now they're in Kirk's time, right? And now Kay has to learn from Shatner how to deal with aliens in a less aggressive way, using diplomacy and newer weapons that are, a little bit cooler, less violent, right? And then in the end, they're able to, do their whip around the sun right at the perfect time, drop him off where he needs to be, no flash needed, and their universes are good to go. How about that?
I'll watch anything with Tommy Lee Jones in it, so that's
right.
Great.
It would just be funny to watch Tommy Lee Jones and Shatner, boss each other around. Kind of funny.
Especially nowadays.
Do you remember the rumor?
Exactly.
They were going to mix Men in Black with 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, that almost happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Really? That's funny.
And then they were going to do, what was the other one they were going to do? Fast and the Furious and
with Jurassic Park, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I feel like Jurassic Park was mixed with something.
Stupid.
Hi, Coma Doof Warrior. How are you, buddy?
He says, look, it's everyone's favorite. Tim Talks Talkies. Almost didn't notice him without his freaking Twizzlers in his pie hole.
I know, man, right? I missed you.
Yeah.
His Twizzlers in his pie hole, that kid.
Nice. All right, y'all. Those are some good mashups, man. So let's see. Did anybody else throw some mashups? Not a ton of mashups out there, but yeah, we love to see it if you watch this on replays. And I mean, so they're hard to come up with on the spot. So maybe these are things you got to stew over a little bit. We all sort of had to work on these, you know. And I don't know about you guys, but my mashup went back and forth, you know, till I just finally landed.
It started with like, oh, I can do Rick and Morty and Back to the Future because that's kind of what it is anyways. And I was like, oh, I could do Futurama and something else, but I'm like, that one just made the most sense to me.
Futurama. What were you thinking of mashing Futurama with? That's funny.
I was probably Rick and Morty because they're both animated.
Oh, those, yeah.
To see them in a show together would be insanely funny.
Yeah. That would be great. All right, guys. Well, this has been really good. I think we're just going to do a little wrap up here. This is sort of like what we're looking forward to in the future in the world of science fiction. We'll just keep everybody up here to just say their thing. What's everybody looking forward to? Derek, what you looking forward to?
Well, it came out last week, and I just mentioned it. New Futurama for the first time. I think maybe the second episode's up now. I need to watch it, but I know there's been one episode for sure. Other than that, I tried to look into it, and there's not a ton, but Dune 2, I want to see it. I liked the first one. I need to watch it again. I'm not like a huge fan of it, but technically it's amazing. So I want to watch it again, and hopefully the second one has a more gripping story character-wise, and I'll enjoy it as a whole beyond that, assuming it comes out. And then beyond that, the next Spider-Verse movie, which is also being delayed indefinitely, apparently. They announced that, so that's cool, because movies suck right now, and no one wants to pay anybody. We all know about that. But other than those two things, I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, honestly. And then Futurama, so three things, I suppose.
It's good. What else?
I'm looking forward to this book is getting an adaptation in March by Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, sweet.
It's gonna be Mickey 17. But yeah, it's about people who basically get their memories implanted into the next person. So when they die, a clone continues on with all the knowledge, and it keeps going like that. So Mickey 7 is the seventh person. The movie is Mickey 17. So we'll see. But Bong Joon-ho, I'm in.
It's worth watching right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the creator, you guys have seen that trailer, right? It looks like an awesome original idea. Have no idea what the movie's really about, but it looks cool visually. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer, but it does look cool from what I've seen.
Yeah, and if you look behind me right over there, that's all the Babylon 5s. I'm a huge B5 fan, and there's a new Babylon 5 animated movie coming out on like a 4K, by the way. So that's super exciting next month. And I think Christmas time, if it stays locked in, they're going to release the entire series on Blu-ray. Yeah! So I'm super pumped about that. That is my second favorite sci-fi next to Star Trek. The writing in that, J. Michael Straczynski, you guys probably heard of. He's done just outstanding stuff. He's a great writer. And this was one of the first things, like he wrote primarily almost every episode, which was unheard of. One of the first writers to do that and have a series arc. Because, a lot of the shows were just episodic. And that was one of the first ones to do the full beginning. Like if they would have given him the 5 years, he had to sort of keep rewriting each season to end. Like third season, this is your last season. So he kind of wrapped up his story quickly. And then they go, wait, we like it. Do a fourth season. So he has to sort of unpack it a little bit. And he had to do that twice. He finally got the 5 seasons, but it did sort of mess with that sort of perfect 5-year thing. But now all we get is arcs and stuff. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of that show, and I can't wait. And if you saw it, if you guys haven't seen it, it was or might be still on Max, and it looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. Their HD treatment on that show looks awesome. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Yeah. All right, guys. Anything else? Anything else you want to leave anybody with? You feel good?
Not that I can think of. Let's go over recommendations we were talking about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We do have one last thing. This is sort of just something that we're all doing for each other. Basically, on Tim's channel coming up on Friday, we're going to have movie recommendations. We're all going to recommend movies to each other right now. We don't know what's coming. So we're going to find out from each other what they want each of us to watch. And then come Friday, we're going to give our opinion. So Tim, it's going to be on your channel. Why don't you go first? Tell everyone what you're giving us.
All right. So yeah, each person is getting one movie each. So by the end of this, by the stream, we're gonna have 3 movies each to watch. Huck, you will be watching The Vast of Night.
What's that?
It is on Amazon Prime, and it's an alien movie.
Oh, I love alien movies.
You love sci-fi, you love aliens. That's what you're getting.
Excellent.
I think you'll like it. Mike is getting the movie Charlie Bartlett because I feel like it's hard to judge. Mike and I are on opposite ends of the spectrum on a lot of stuff. I do actually think that Mike will like this one. I really do. And then Derek is getting a movie called Dead and Breakfast. It's on YouTube. It has no Blu-ray, only DVD, but it's free on YouTube. It's a very, very fun zombie comedy musical thing.
my God.
And it's weird.
I remember that coming out, and I never watched it for some reason, but I remember it had David Carradine in it, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Well, it's a winner, right?
Dead and Breakfast. That's funny. All right, Derek, what you got? Payback. Here it comes.
For another sci-fi for Mr. Mike, I want you to watch the other movie I almost talked about, like I mentioned earlier. You need to watch Sam Rockwell, the star of the Ninja Turtles movie, In Moon. It's amazing. Directed by David Bowie's son, Duncan Jones. One of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies. And yeah, Sam Rockwell needed more awards for this one. Let's just put it that way. Huck,
yeah,
you need to watch one of my Rad 9. I've been watching this movie since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Oh boy.
Night of the Creeps.
Excellent.
Genuine hoot and a half. And yeah.
I've
Plus it
not
has a
seen
sexy
that.
fan alive Tom Atkins. And
Night of
Tim,
the Creeps. All
because
right.
you love Evil Dead so much like me, you need to watch the shot on video to be released on video Canadian ripoff
Oh Lord.
Things. If you like cabin horror movies that
What
are
is
really
that?
good, you need to watch Things. And you will be a stronger person after having done so. And you will thank me.
Wow. All right, Mike, what you got? Those are good, y'all. Wow, this is good stuff.
Yeah, so Huck looks like he needs a good cry, so I'm
Oh, no!
recommending him the best holiday movie of all time,
Oh, okay.
Collateral Beauty. Fantastic. And as a father, you'll probably get a lot of emotions with this movie, so bring the tissues. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
tearjerker, but it's very, very good. Next up, we get Life of the King for Derek, just because it's a really good movie, you know, kind of a, I guess you could say a street level type of movie in a way, but, you know, talks about just the importance of thinking ahead in life. And so it's just a crucial movie. So very, very good.
Cuba.
And then for Tim, because I know he kind of likes a little bit more of the classic movies that move maybe a little bit slower. You get a courtroom drama here, a great historical movie with Gideon's Trumpet, which you can even find this one on YouTube. But you got Henry Fonda in there. So
I'm in with Henry Fonda.
Yep, right there.
Nice. Yeah, Mike, you've been talking up that Collateral Beauty for a while.
It's
so
the best holiday movie of all time. I mean, what can I say?
That's what you
It's better than
say.
Iron Man
It
3.
is.
I will let you know. All right, so I'm gonna give you my 3. I don't have the copies here, but I'm gonna lay it on you now. Tim, I know you love music and you love soundtracks and stuff like that, so I'm gonna hit you up with something I've talked about many times on the channel. I got Tony to buy it. It's on my top perfect movies, or hidden gems, I should say, and that is The Commitments. There you go.
I have heard you talk about that one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. The great Irish band, The Commitments. So good. Jimmy Robertson band. It's great. Mike, I will throw a tearjerker back at you. So funny. And that is Untamed Heart. I've also mentioned that as a hidden gem. That's Christian Slater, Marissa Tomei. It's a great little film about, you know, this guy. He doesn't have a lot of game. He's got some health problems. He sort of falls in love with Marissa Tomei's character, Rosie Perez. She comes in there too. You know, she's like the best friend. She's funny. She got some good, you know, comedic moments. But yeah, I think you will like, well, we're going to find out, like, if Untamed Heart and Collateral Beauty work for each other. And Derek, you're a tough nut to crack, sir. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to do one that was recommended to me and was an absolute hoot. Like totally surprised me. He's got some wrestling in it.
Oh, I like it, man.
You're a wrestling fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that is Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, good. I actually want to see
You heard of that?
Yeah, good. I want to see that. I haven't gotten around to it.
It is excellent. God, it is so good. Like it's Shia at his best. Like, just wave off any of the whatever.
Whoa, Huck. It's not holes. Calm down. Calm down.
I said one of his best.
It's good.
One of his best.
It's not holes here, okay?
I mean, what is, really? But yeah, that's good, y'all. There you go. So
that's going to be a fun stream. We're going to be going over everyone's thoughts on all of these.
Yeah.
And no one's seen any of these.
We're doing other streams.
Yeah, because that's it's like it was a crapshoot. Like we had to have backups just in case. So that's funny. Nice. All right, no one's seen these.
Nobody's seen Things. I knew that was an easy one.
I'm like, what is that? Tim's like, Derek's just making stuff up. He photoshopped the copies as Things.
Nope. Shot on video. Spur straight to video. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. All right. Well, let's just get back to the chats and wrap it up here with some stuff. Let's see. With your boy, there's your boy. Say we did the Komodo guy. All right. Let's see. Last thing I think I read was, oh my God, I love Futurama, as do we. Look, Dirk Diggler's here. Oh, look, it's on Conan O'Brien, upper left.
Just
count one. Oops. Well, all right. Whatever. Let's see.
Red hair.
Let's see. I know, which is weird because I'm wearing a hat the whole time. Right. Let's see. Okay, what is happening in the thing here? All right, I'm reading ahead. We're gonna just lay off some of the stuff and just know that we have a great crowd, but there's some comments that are just not to be shared. So anyway, but overall, yeah. And like Michael even says, ooh, I want to join that movie recommendations video. Well, check any out, Michael. Like any of the ones that we recommended to each other. If any of those, any of you guys jumped out for you, check them out. Actually, there's some other ones that you guys recommended for other people I hadn't seen too. I won't take each one yet, but yeah, there's some good ones. Moon's amazing.
Yeah.
Like that might be one. I also haven't seen, so yeah, these are good. Y'all. Yeah, I know. I hear a lot, and he's like,
it's pretty good.
And Rockwell's like the whole thing, right? It's like all Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you like Sam Rockwell, it's like impossible to not like.
And I do. All right, guys. Well, man, I think that is going to do it. I want to thank everybody who came out to the show tonight. This has been a lot of fun going over a genre I love a lot, science fiction. We have 27 likes. I appreciate everybody that came in tonight and hit the like and could come and go. If you're checking this on the replay, thank you so much for that as well. And I want to thank my guys, my dudes, my collectors clubbos, my clubbers.
Clubbers.
My clubbers for doing such a great thing tonight. And, we got other stuff coming up. So why don't we go ahead and get around the horn and we'll just tell everybody who's doing what. In fact, I'll go ahead and start because tomorrow night on my channel is also going to be a science fiction trivia night. Just got done prepping that whole thing. So we are good to go with that. I'll be posting a link for that soon. So you'll see who's coming. Got a great little cast. Some of the faces you saw tonight might be on there as well. And we're doing Morning Mug on Wednesday morning, and any of these guys are welcome to show. We can talk about stuff that's happening. I know some of you got to work, but Mike, if you're free,
I will be there.
Pop on in, and then take it away. We'll go to Derek next.
Oh, I forgot you were doing Morning Mug on Wednesday. I can join that one.
No, on Tuesday.
Oh, you said Wednesday.
Oh, I said Wednesday. I meant Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday. Oh, I'm like, oh, cool. I can do that. No, I can't.
It's all hot in here. So, yeah.
Well, then we should go to Mike because he's doing Wednesday, isn't he?
Yes, Wednesday. Christopher Nolan too. Yeah,
I was so confused for a second.
Just jump in, y'all. Just jump in.
All the Nolan filmography, top 3 each. So we'll cover all his films, and that's just kind of in celebration of Oppenheimer that just came out and that made tons of money. So join that.
Rightly so. All right, and then Thursday will be on my channel. We're doing another tournament at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of the 32 best movie posters of all time. So it's artwork galore, and it's not just the prettiest artwork. A lot of it is very minuscule, just text. You'll be surprised what made the final 32, and I actually researched it, so it's not just me picking stuff. This is like what the internet says is the best 30 movie posters of all time. And you'll be surprised what missed too, which is the countdown to the show. So be there for that one.
And Tim.
And for me, well, we already talked about the recommendation stream. Initially, we were going to get towards the end. We were going to do the top 25, but that's, you guys already know that's a little bit later because I need more time to calculate. Yep. So we're going to do this awesome recommendation stream. I am super excited for that one. I can't wait to see what you guys think of mine, and I can't wait to see what you guys the Things one. Oh my God, I wonder about that one.
Oh, you'll love it.
And then Tim. Well, hold on, Saturday. Go ahead and tell us a little bit more about your next week because you've been working on this top 25. Give us a little tease.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of people already know, but tomorrow is the deadline to get me your top 25. I've gotten a lot of them already, like a lot. Going to be doing calculating, and then it's, God, I should have wrote down the dates. It's the following Friday and Saturday.
11th and 12th.
If that's it, yeah, it's the following Friday and Saturday though. We'll be going through essentially the top 50, but you could think of the first stream as the stuff that just missed it, the honorable mentions. It's going to be a freaking blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty much banger after banger after banger. And I appreciate that, Comadoof. I'm glad I give you the creeps.
Yeah, look at that.
A whole night of them.
Got some love out there. And Mike, tell us about Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday will be the recap show. We're just going to kick back, relax, talk about our favorite memories from the Collectors Club week, just fun stuff like that. And then important side note, if you would like to join the Howard the Duck campaign, we're the community list to try to get Howard the Duck on there. I know we are short on time, Ducksters, but if you want to hit me up on Instagram for the details, hit me up tonight and we will continue that campaign. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We will see Howard the Duck somewhere on this list.
Even if it's number 50, it's a win, right?
Squeeze in right at the end. All right. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks a lot. I think that's going to wrap it up tonight. Just slightly over the 2 hours. Sorry about my technical problems. And hopefully we won't have that happen again tomorrow night. Right. But, it's very weird. It gets so hot out here that our power gets sort of surge once in a while. So even if I was hardwired in, I would have lost that. So I can't wait for you guys to take over. And I also want to thank all the people who supplied us with some roll-ins. We got David, the 4K Lowdown. John Cooley was here. Todd, Masters of the 80s. And Chris of Starships of Greatness. I got everyone's link here and those guys down below. So go check out everybody's channel. And hey, guys, we'll see you tomorrow night at the Sci-Fi Trivia. Y'all have a good one. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Applause. Dude.